So, real quick, I got a question, and like I mentioned, thank y'all for listening. This is, a 10-part series on the countdown for 100 episode. But I have a question for all my listeners who I appreciate, viewers who all I appreciate, subscribers who all I appreciate. Um, at what point does it help to mind your business when it comes to domestic violence? I just want to know because it's like, can you be optimistic, skeptical, or a pessimist? Because in my day, in my time, there's people that I know, women who I know, mainly women, mostly women, but they're not limited to just women, but men too, because men do deal with abuse. But when you witness someone being abused physically, what do you do? And how much is the mental abuse and verbal abuse even? How much does that apply to domestic violence? Because you're not really violent until the act is taken. But I do feel like once you're threatening someone's life or insulting them, it can get to a point sometimes. Like, say, you got to nip things in the bud. But there's something that people talk about all the time. It's as far as when they say what a real man is, what a real woman does. And to me, you can be a real man and still do some foolish things. A real man, is going to take care of their responsibility, but that doesn't justify, you know, that they might be a sucker, that they might be afraid or just stupid. To me, a real man is someone who is going to be honest, respectable, respectful, and responsible and accountable. There's other ways to decide. Whatever it is that works for you, like whatever works for you, works for you. Like me, someone who's always been open minded, you know, sometimes it's a benefit. I give people benefit of the doubt, but I'm also vigilant, and I also have my ignorant moments, but I do my due diligence. But like when it comes to defending someone, what type of what moral code does that stand on? Is that compassion? Or is that what is that? Because I know that there's times where we can't do anything. Like, you can sit here and defend someone all they want. Like, say, like, imagine you witness someone getting whooped, getting beat on. Just imagine that for a minute. What do you do? Because you don't know the essence of, you don't know the dynamic of that relationship, nor do you know that, and that's why I always say sometimes knowing and not knowing is always a good and bad. Because, like I said, people have lost their life. People have lost their life just even standing up for themselves. People, but like I said, you can't live in fear, but you also have to remember to be cautious. You have to be smart. You have to be wise in making certain decisions. I almost witnessed an abuse or domestic violence abuse, and let me tread lightly when I say domestic violence. It could just been two friends of the opposite sex. It could have just been a boyfriend or girlfriend. It could have been someone. It could have just been somebody who was just helping another person out. But it's just like when a man hits a woman and a woman hits a man. It's okay. I'm a man. I'm gonna stay out of women's business. I'm not gonna just let you know you know a woman that I know get jumped by a bunch of different women. But I'm gonna make sure that, hey, if a woman is getting into it with another woman, I'm gonna let them do what they do. If my lady gets into it with some another woman, and then their man's sitting there and he jumps in, I'm gonna jump in. But it's like if we both standing like, hey, we gotta let them do their thing. I'm not gonna stand there and let another man disrespect my lady. But at the same time, it's like at what point do we? How do we decide whether this is our fight or not? Because we always say, they always say, black women are the most educated. Some will say differently. A lot of people say that black women are the most disrespected and unprotected. A lot of people disagree. So the thing in that as well is like, just because we disagree doesn't mean one is wrong. Like I said, what works for you works for you. So when people try to justify what one should do, especially when it comes to defending and coming into someone's honor, there's really no what are we gonna do there? You gotta there's a standard that's already set. So do you go by the standard that society set? Do you go by the standard that the Bibles and religion is set, which some can probably say it's even that is society, or do you just set up your own standards? I think when it comes to domestic violence, any type of violence in that matter, it's important to have morals with that, but you might have to go by your own standards, just to protect yourself. Some people will die for that chain that they get. Some people will kill for that chain that you got. So it's like, what's worth your life? What's worth living and what's worth fighting for. That's how I always try. Me personally, I don't know. I really don't know. I really don't know how to make those decisions. I know that when it comes to the women in my life, I'm gonna definitely fight for them. But if it comes to somebody who I don't know, it would be hard because it's like, while I'm sitting here defending you, I'm putting myself in jeopardy. And then when the smoke clears, it was just another Sunday, and it's like you can be, if you're in a relationship with someone who's abusive and you stay in that relationship, there's reasons. It could be out of fear, it can be, out of a lot of stuff, but me personally, I do feel like we all need at least one friend that we can run to for help. Because again, you can't always go to the police. I understand that, I don't agree with it, but I do understand it. I do feel like, fear for your life can cause you to stay in certain situations. So we have to be careful with people. I don't like that's the case sometimes. But there's gonna be some changes. I don't like I said I don't wanna put myself in harm's way and, risk not being around anymore for someone that I don't know. I care about people, but it's like I do not care for people. The people that's in my circle, their priorities. The people who are outside my circle, they're gonna get compassion. They're gonna be treated with respect. But it's like, hey, I cannot I cannot help you. I cannot save you because it's like, hey, I'm one person. I think I can stand and stand for something, and it can do be something great. But like I said, when it comes to like stuff that's really kind of mediocre, and when I say mediocre, I mean lukewarm, because domestic violence and stop preventing domestic violence can be lukewarm sometimes. It's never wrong to do the right thing, but it is wrong to put to insert yourself in certain things. Like I said, no woman should be hitting a man. No man should doesn't ever hit a woman. If you're not about to die, or you're not, I'm tired. But it just makes me think about certain things that I see even online. Like this woman she went viral for a second time, I think, because she was like a man, like these men like beat her just for saying no to her, and she ended up in the hospital. It turned out to be a prank, but she was like, why ain't nobody help her? And it's like, man, that's a dang shame. A lot of people would go in the comments and they would do this. Like I said, it's easy. It's easy to say what you would do. It's easy to say what you won't do when you're not in that position. You can like that's that. I don't think it's wrong to say you don't know, or to even say nothing's wrong with that. But I do feel like having backstories does help. We just gotta be safe out here. That's another reason why I talk about being positive. When you're positive, things will be productive, and when you're productive, things will be prosperous. So the best thing to do is to be vigilant and do your due diligence. However, going back into going back down again to that Lucky Rock, that's solid. Going back to that solid point. Mm. Be better. Treat people right. But think about that. Think about Think about the people that's in your life now and what you'll do for them to make sure that they stay safe. I appreciate anybody who will have the courage to help me not knowing me. And like I said, it just is a case by case. Like I lean more towards not. I have courage to help people, even not knowing the situation. But certain things, sometimes it doesn't apply. Certain things, sometimes things don't apply. And that's my time. Thank you for listening again.